Hey everyone, welcome to Weekend Project. I'm Laura Lynn of the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop, and we're very happy to see you here today. Today we're working on something for usually the littlest members of our family, and well, if you have them, some do, some don't, or some are coming along at any moment, and probably lots in a few months. I'm making a baby bib. Now this is kind of a bandana sort of style. You could also use this for a small dog. You know, it doesn't really matter. It's a very universal sort of pattern, so you can just kind of wing it whatever you like. So I did end up tracing this from a bib that I was asked to replicate. So I kind of made it just, the cat knows I'm talking to myself. There we go. It does, so I could replicate it many times over with some flannel and some cottons that she had asked me to make it out of. It's very, very cute material. So I made a few of these out of flannel. Sorry, the flannel has been pre-washed, so make sure that's a key if you're going to do that out of flannel. Make sure it's pre-washed. And then you can just find a similar pattern online, even a bandana type, but make sure you're kind of scooping out a little bit here, so you're scooping it out for the neck of the pattern. So you see right there, you know, even it looks good on Mr. Clive, sort of, maybe put as a little hat. There we go. There he is. Adorable. He's not impressed. Don't worry, these will be washed before they get to where they're going. So now we're just gonna cut them out. So here's you. Off you go, buddy. Sorry, can't get any work done with you on my lap. So I have a very cute bit of flannel here with some soccer or footballs, depending on where you're from. And I'm just gonna, you could easily put this on the fold. I did, when I copied this pattern out, I did make sure for even on both sides. I did lay it on the fold, but I've got 2 layers here because you want to lay those right sides together so you get a nice cute little bend. You can do different fabrics as well. They don't have to be the same because the way if you use a little bit of velcro or even a snap or something like that, I wouldn't suggest buttons, but a velcro or a snap, you can place it either way on the munchkin, so it doesn't really matter whether it's left or right or left. Okay, so we're just going to put a few pins in here to keep it in place as we do some cutting. And I just have, I think it's what, 3/4 inch or 1/2 inch Velcro, and I cut it about 1 inch and a bit long to make sure it can kind of go in a few places. Because if you give it, it can go almost like touching edge to edge and make a really small neck, or go touching very edge to edge on the outside and make a bigger neck. So it's adjustable for the munchkin as they're growing older, or like I said, for a dog or a big cat, or you know, even just for them just running around as characters, little cowboy, you know, whatever works. Now you could use a rotary cutter and come up on either side and go around. I kind of find it a little bit more accurate to do with a pair of fabric scissors. So I'm just gonna come close to it, my pattern, but I'm not going to cut it. Okay, I'm gonna do this side first, kind of give it the 2 long sides. The cat is back. He's over on my left. He'll get plenty of time this weekend, I'm sure. Be sure to join us on Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern, and we are live streaming for 12 hours that day. And we will be on until 9 p.m. Eastern. So if you have any time available throughout the day, come and join us. We're going to have a few giveaways. As some may be able to tell, I did find the sewing machine panel. It is hanging behind me, and we will talk about that on the 12 hours of where I found it. And of course, as soon as you stop looking for something, there it is. All right, so you can round this a bit more, get closer to the pattern. So it's not a little, this was a little lumpy. Let's straighten up a smidgy-widgy here. And then once you get them cut, you put the right sides together, or you can cut them or trace it out with the right sides together. I have another one here with some cute little monkey flowers and banana fabric. That is adorable. So it is already pinned and ready to go, and I'm just going to sew all the way around except for one little gap. Usually on the bottom side here, one of the bottom sides here of the bandana bib to be able to turn it right side out. And then before we, after we've sewn and before we turn it out, we're just going to do some cute little clips around the curves to make sure everything does turn out nice and pretty and we're not getting any lumps or bumps, and then we can just do a little top stitch all the way around. Okay, so let's get that sewn. Easy peasy. And just a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Do a little back stitch because when you're going to put some pressure on that seam as you go to turn it right side out. So make sure you put a little back stitch. You're not going to rip your fabric or pop some stitches. And just take your time around the curve. Lift your foot up as many times as you need. Okay, make sure when you do that, you're pivoting with the needle down, okay? Hopefully you'll be able to see there. I bumped the camera up at the top because I was putting trying to tighten some stuff, putting it away, and then the big thing of batting that was up behind it fell off, so I think I adjusted the camera, but I tried to get it back into place, so. And you can use a complementary thread to go on the top when you're doing the top stitching, or you know, if because this one's, you know, pink, I could use pink or yellow or whatever. I think I'm just going to stick with gray because it's nice and easy, and gray goes with everything. So just making sure 1/4 inch all the way around. And this is a great way to use up some of your bits and bobs of leftover flannel or cotton. It doesn't really matter. I think this would look really cute in a denim or even like a corduroy sort of thing, maybe cotton on one side, corduroy on the other. And I'm going to leave myself about 2.5 inches to be able to turn. Okay, so I'm going to take my little pins out that were holding my fabrics together. Just pop them in a little pin cushion there. And then you see this tip right here, the corner, where we're just going to lop that off. Okay. So when we go to turn it, it's not going to give us a little bulk in there. So now we're going to scoot over here. Make sure the kitty cat wasn't in the way. And just as we come around the curve on both of them, and the one on the inside, make sure I got both fabrics there. Ooh, it's a little shy. So you can see that it's a little bit shy there. I think I'm actually going to come back on this side and come out and just give it a little bit more, because I don't want, as soon as I turn that right side out, we may have a fray there. So let's go back and let's just tweak that. Better safe than sorry. It's always best to look at your work and see if it needs a little bit, you know, of extra. Okay, I think we're all right there. And make sure we're happy with the rest. Yes, we are. Okay. So we're just going to come around. Watch yourself there, buddy. And just clip in just a little bit. Don't go to your stitches or past them, or you end up having a smaller bib. Okay. Just all the way around, especially where it's curving. You got to think of how the fibers lay in the material. They're like woven. They're woven together. So think of that, and then sometimes they don't want to always cooperate when you're trying to get them to go in certain curvatures. Okay. Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to trim around that at all. Not that seam, not without splitting it. Okay, just a couple more little cuts. And you could also use pinking shears as well to come up around it. It's whatever works for you. And then you find where your gap was, and then I just put my thumb in and just wiggle it all the way down, or scrunch the fabric between just my thumbs in here, and then just pop it out. And then slowly and carefully pulling out the other sides. Okay. And of course there's this handy dandy tool here to make sure you're rounding all your seams, because when you do your top stitching, you want it to look nice and pretty, or nice and even. Okay, make sure you poke out the bottom. See how the nice little point there? That's because the bulk of the fabric is not there to hinder that point from coming out nice and precise. Okay. Just wiggle it across. Use either end, whatever works for you. Okay. Now we can give that a little bit of a press to make sure we're going to be happy with that and everything's a-okay. So, sorry buddy, you're just underfoot today, aren't you? Literally. A little press. I have a feeling he's probably going to jump in my chair. Yep. Oh, nope. Yes, he did. You silly kitty. Mr. Clive stealing the show. Here we go. We'll put you here. Okay. There you go. You can get your peoples. And they can see you with the sweater on. So here. And I will just use the foot. Now I just tuck those raw edges in, just a smidgy, just so they're not seen. And I just put a little pop the pin in there. And I just come and I do a nice little stitch all the way around. And then when you just go and you place your Velcro where you like it, but make sure you're interlocking them. Like one goes one way, one goes the other. They both don't go the same way. So you have to make sure you're paying attention when you're laying it out. Hopefully I'm not in the way there. And then just right next to where it's folded over, the two fabrics meet, I'm putting a nice little stay stitch, or top stitch, sorry. Yes, tomorrow Saturday, whatever. We are going to be, it's pretty much giving back to the fans day. We have lots of bags to give away. We have lots of little goodies to give away. These are bags that I'm making during the live stream and will be given away once complete. And we'll have a couple for silent auction to help raise money for the quilt shop, the new quilt shop, the building. And we have just a couple little other things to give. We got like a ruler and some fabric. We're gonna have a pate. Come and pate with us. Okay, and Munchkin's gonna help me in the kitchen make crepes with fresh fruit and whipping cream for dinner. Yes, we're gonna have breakfast for dinner. There we go. So once that's sewn all the way around, looks really cute. And then, like I said, you have to make sure when you're laying out your Velcro, okay, that if you're having one piece go this way, you can't have this other piece go there, or it's never gonna go. This one has to go on this side. So when they cross over, you got yourself your little bandana. Okay. And then that way they can flip and flop if you use two different materials, what have you, to make your project. So just pin it. I like it a little bit close to the edge, so it gives a little bit of room to grow for the Munchkins, so they can use it for a little while. I know they grow really fast. And then they could probably recycle it for one of their dollies or their stuffies or something like that. So that is our weekend project. Hopefully you guys end up getting a chance to make a few of these, and because there's babies going to be happening all over the place. Let me tell you, we might better get used to making baby bibs and burp cloths and all sorts of good things. So thank you, everybody. Big hugs from us, and we will see you very soon. Take care.